Joining us now is world-renowned dog psychology expert Cesar Millan to talk about his revolutionary new dog collar that's giving dogs a new leash on life. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Yes,
Happy
happy
holidays.
day after Thanksgiving. It's so great to see you. We've been trying for days to get you, Cesar. So it's so great to actually see you. So let's start by asking, in general,
Yes.
how are you finding that dogs are handling this pandemic? I mean, since you've got like a connection, you know what they're thinking. Are they having a tough time like us humans are?
Well, you know, this is what dogs have been living before pandemic. They've been staying inside the house for a long time. That's why I'm always suggesting exercise. You know, take the dog outside for a walk because he spends so much time indoors. So now humans are experiencing what the dog is experiencing. At the same time, dogs always are with their family. So when a dog separates from the family, that's not a natural behavior. So right now they actually live in a normal life.
Oh, that's a really good perspective. That's true, right?
Yeah.
They just want you to be home. They don't want you to leave for work. And so now it's like things are good in the home.
Totally.
But they want to go with you everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so to them work is being with the family all the time.
Right.
And so traveling with the family, playing with the family. So, you know, their school is with the family. So we're the only species that sends kids to school and then we go somewhere else.
True. True.
And let's talk, Cesar, about home life, right? Because as it relates to pet ownership, we've been seeing like different trends this year. People who have just been hit really hard may not be able to keep their pets. So we're seeing a lot of pets who are just roaming the streets. And then conversely, we're seeing a lot of people adopting pets, right? Because they're spending so much time at home. But in general here, we're seeing 10 million dogs a year that go lost. Why is that number so high?
So let's address number one, which is, you know, people abandoning the dogs. Homeless people have dogs. They were already homeless before the pandemic. So there is really no excuse after our homeless have dogs. So it has to do with commitment. That has to do with agreement. That has to do with a follow through, right? So because a dog, if you lose your money, your fame, and your power, he's still going to be with you. So when a human thinks that he has to abandon a dog because he lost his money, fame, and power, you have not lost your spirit, you have not lost your heart, you have not lost your instinct. So don't lose that, because that's what stopped your creativity for keeping family members next to you.
Right.
And the other part, the part where dogs are getting lost, is they're not getting the proper exercise where the dog actually moves out of the house, comes back, and he knows the route. So a lot of these dogs, where they're not getting the exposure, right? So when they have a free chance to drain their energy, to explore, they don't know how to come back. So I'm from Mexico. Over there, the dogs never get lost. So why a dog never gets lost? Because a dog lives in a completely different lifestyle, right? So dogs in America lives, inside the house most of the time. And when he goes outside, people takes him for 15 to 20 minutes the most. It's not enough for him to have a GPS or to have an understanding.
Learn the environment. Which brings us to what you've done. You've teamed up with the founders of Halo. I see it on your shirt there. Now, you're saying this is going to revolutionize the art of the dog collar, especially for New Yorkers in particular. Tell us why.
Well, in New York or in Jersey especially, they have a lot of invisible fences already, right? Because they want the dog to go outside and not to cross the boundary. So what makes a dog well behaved is when he understands the rules, boundaries, and limitations. What makes even a child well behaved is that he retains rules, boundaries, and limitations. So when a dog doesn't get to be reminded this rules, boundaries, and limitations, people are going to call it, a dog who doesn't obey it, or a dog who doesn't listen, or a dog who is mischievous. But once you maintain the rules, the boundaries, the limitations, this is what makes anybody disciplined. This is what makes anybody consistent with the behavior. So even when you guys go to work, there is rules, boundaries, and limitations. And when kids go to school, there is rules, boundaries, limitations. When we go to church, rules, boundaries, and limitations. So when a dog doesn't get this every single day, he is going to have his own rules, boundaries, limitations, where you're not going to agree with them, because they're going to be able to chase the squirrels. They're going to be able to chase deers. That's to them is normal. But to us, it's not longer needed.
Right, that's a universal message there for sure. So Cesar, this collar is not just like the physical collar. It's also equipped with a 21-day training program. How does that work?
Well, you know, I train humans. My goal is to train humans. So humans really need to understand the steps. It took me, you know, all these years. I'm 51 now. So I condensed those 51 years of knowledge into 21 days. We have to develop a habit. We have to, our energy have to be right. Our strategy have to be right, and our repetitions have to be consistent. So energy, psychology, repetitions. Anything in life, connection, communication, relationship, even with humans, we need to have the right energy, the right psychology, so we can create trust, respect, and love. So in 21 days, humans are able to develop this habit.
It sounds like this is almost as good for the humans as it is for the dogs. I mean, Cesar, you're on to something here.
Totally.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Clearly, you are the dog whisperer for a reason.